I'm a community stakeholder here in Koreatown.
Community stakeholder?
I'm volunteering for Wilshire Center subdivision.
I am the owner of 41 Travel.
Moved to Los Angeles after college.
I'm Korean and white. I'm a Koreatown advocate, and I've been working in the community since 2006.
I am a photographer and founder and CEO of FITC Entertainment, but most importantly, a community stakeholder.
Koreatown is just the most beautiful place that I know of in California and possibly in the US.
A lot of different kind of cultures meet in one place in LA.
38 years of my life. I lived in Koreatown most of my life.
Identity as being a Korean American.
It is my heart home.
Once you experience it and you start seeing more and more of Korean culture and K-Town itself, you just realize like how it's amazing. It's really hard to put in other words.
Koreatown, it got me more familiar with my culture.
Koreatown has allowed me to kind of embrace my full identity and have a new appreciation for my heritage that I never had before.
So currently there's a proposal and a vote on June 19th to split the area that we currently know as Wilshire Center Koreatown into two neighborhood council districts. The proposed area that we would be voting on June 19th is from Melrose to about 6th Street, we'll say, and western to Vermont, and that area would then be called the Wilshire Center Little Bangladesh Neighborhood Council.
I feel like everyone, especially diversity, everyone should have like a location for themselves and, preserve their culture and have their own unique experiences too.
Koreatown is very, very much a melting pot. And to have Little Bangladesh coming in here and taking that away from the Koreans is just basically asking them to erase history and to remove history and put it somewhere else. You just can't do that.
If the majority of the people who live in this neighborhood council district are Korean Americans or Latino Americans, and let's say Bangladesh Americans are in very small numbers, I certainly do not wish to have a small number of people represent the large interest of that community to actually, make the very important decision-making process, to affect our lives and businesses.
I believe that this town is made up of culture and tradition and hard work of many, many Koreans who came to the United States. This is a pride and joy of at least my roots, and to have Bangladesh. They say little Bangladesh, but I think it's a big Bangladesh. They're taking over half of the district of Koreatown, and it grieves me. It really does.
I feel that the way that the Koreans actually made Koreatown, I even looked it up, and on Wikipedia it was saying just a couple hundred Koreans came and they basically took over this area. We worked for it. Koreans basically worked for this specific area. Now that we've got the rent up so high and everybody wanting to be in Koreatown, the Bangladesh, I don't even know what they're called, Bangladeshlians, the Bangladesh culture has now, I'm thinking now sees, oh, okay, well, everyone's paying top dollar to live in Koreatown. So screw it, let's just take over a big portion of it, because then we're gonna make more money once we start buying properties. I think the way that I see it is they're basically trying to cut us out of what we worked for, what we strived for, what our ancestors came here. Well, not ancestors, yeah, I guess it would be ancestors.
I think the Bangladesh and Koreatown issue is extremely important because where we are right now as a global political stance is something that we've never really seen before, as far as maybe Gen X or millennials have seen. North Korea and South Korea have just found peace, and I feel like to take away a part of Koreatown, something that is a historic staple of Los Angeles and home to so many Asian Pacific individuals, it's almost like a step backwards in my sense The United States was founded on the premise that all are welcome. It's a brand new chance for everyone to start over. And for us to take part of Koreatown away, I feel like we're going backwards instead of forwards.
The Bangladesh Koreatown issue is very important to me. Number one, because did not know it was happening. That gave me a realization as to how there was no communication system between what's going on in the city, within our town, with the residents.
The truth is that Koreatown is the most dense community in the entire city of LA. In actuality, we could have 4 different neighborhood councils because we have so many people. It's based on population size. So this is actually a great opportunity to look at splitting up Koreatown into 4 different neighborhood councils. And when it comes down to naming, it could be a very neutral name like Wilshire Center Koreatown 1, 2, 3, and 4, north, south, east, and west. I think folks have an issue with the naming more so than the fact that it would be split up into different districts or different boundaries. And if you look on Yelp and you look up Bangladeshi businesses, there are actually only 8 restaurants, half of which are also markets, and I would say they're about 1,000 square feet each. So to name an entire area from like Melrose to 5th or 6th, Vermont to Western, after an area of businesses and residents that really are only around 4 different city blocks, that seems a little bit excessive. It's like calling the northern part of downtown LA Olvera Street.
Changing the neighborhood, so changing the north part of Koreatown to Bangladesh Town, what that changes is it changes the neighborhood council. So what that means is when you create a new neighborhood, which anyone can do, if you have over 20,000 population in a certain area, you can create a neighborhood too within Los Angeles County. For me, it's not that I have anything against Bangladesh people. I love people from Bangladesh. I love people from all over the world. So it has nothing to do with that. It's just it takes away diversity by taking away from Koreatown. So it's actually an attack against diversity when you take away from another minority. So you shouldn't, if you want to promote diversity, promote culture, etc., you should have like more location, more area for diversity, more square footage, more etc. for everyone. Not take away from one community in order to put another community. So that's one of the other things I wanted to add.
Number one strategy, I guess, is awareness. I feel bad for the fact that I was never really actively involved. Second thing is coming together to work together. Just having the awareness is not enough.
Taking the ownership of the community, ownership of the area that you live in, and when you know that it's your property, when you know that it's your life, that the quality of life that you need to protect, then you get involved. So I am so glad that so many people, including myself, that we are now coming out and getting involved in this issue.
Always been an advocate of being interactive, being hands-on, getting kids involved, getting teenagers involved, but making the learning process fun. When people hear the word voting or getting involved, they think of work. They think of how much they don't know about the situation. They think about how much they don't think their opinion matters. But if you put on some live events, they don't have to be extravagant, they don't have to be big, but something fun and attention-grabbing.
Please vote. The voting is our biggest voice. In the past, I'm not really sure how many Koreans have gotten involved with this political realm, city community, but I'm really asking all of my people in my Koreatown, as well as even Americans who love to eat Korean barbecue. Would you come and vote so that Koreatown will remain authentic and great as it has been?